You're like, Josh, where are you possibly going with this Diddy intro? How does this relate to stocks? Well, I didn't think it related to stocks until after I saw a response from Diddy's lawyer on all of these comments regarding his excessive lube purchases. Let's go check out what the lawyer said.
How do you explain the baby oil and the lubricants? 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
I don't think it was 1,000. I think it was a lot. I mean, there's a Costco right down the street. You know, I think Americans buy in bulk, as we know.
So there you've got it. You heard it directly from him. It's not Diddy's fault. It's Costco selling in bulk. He must have accidentally picked up a pallet when he only meant to pick up a case. Guys, I warned on Costco today in the Stocks with Josh Discord, the Chart Goat University. I said, guys, we're not touching Costco. Not a buy or call opportunity on this one. It's way too expensive. It's got the same PE as NVIDIA, but it only has single-digit growth. And we see after they've reported earnings, the stock is relatively capitulating. It's on decline. And so I'm glad that we avoided it. In addition to that, the IV on the options, which stands for implied volatility, was 90%, which meant that even if it had taken off like a rocket, and even if you had gotten into puts, that by morning time, the premium on those puts could be worth less than they were when you bought them. And so this seemed almost like a no-win opportunity. The only thing you could have done would have been an iron condor. But basically, I said to the retail family, I said, guys, don't touch this one. It's not going to be a breakout winner, even though Costco's done extremely well, actually up near 100% since March of 2023. And so we've got a lot of stocks as we go through a new season of earnings ahead of us. It's not here yet. We're still in current quarter earnings. But as we get there, I'm going to tell you that if this market continues to climb, we're going to see a lot of people taking profits. It's going to be really, really hard for the market to justify the high price and the run up and to justify not taking profits. Guys, this is the Stocks with Josh show. I appreciate you joining me today. I've got a handful of things to go over with you guys today. I've got a new hot play for you, but it's going to be one that some of you aren't going to like. It's because it's so beat down. It's a little counter trend, and it's one that at one time I had said it was dead to me, but the technicals have started to speak to me on this one. I'm going to share that with you guys, and we've got to cover Tesla. We've got to do a victory lap on Micron. Again, we made just an absolute killing on that one. I was up over 300% on my October 4th options, and I was up over 200% on my options expiring. I think it was 9/27, but it was an absolute incredible winning day, and we just didn't want to give back any of those gains. And so when you have a big day like that, you want to take it slowly. After I gave that alert in the Discord, one of the members said that they had accidentally bought 10 calls and not one call, and they accidentally made a pile of money. Now, that's awesome when you make a mistake and it goes in your favor like that. That is a unique situation. I got to give him a shout out. There are too many winning posts in the win section for me to share it with you guys, but a lot of people made money. We're still in our 3K to 10K challenge. We're still in puts on Visa. We've been able to lock in a lot of great gains between 80 and 100% on the first 4 trades. We're still in the Visa puts, and we're hoping to lock in some money. Tomorrow may be the day that we see that get realized. All right, we've got to talk about some data that's been coming out, because today we got the GDP, and it came in exactly as I had said the market wanted it to come in, which was showing market strength, 3%, as well as the fact that they're now projecting for Q3 to also be another 3%. That's a good GDP. That's not showing an economy that's moving into weakness. Now, tomorrow we get the PCE. That reflects the inflation report. Now, personally, I want to remind you guys that the Fed has said that he's pivoting. And you might say, well, we know that, Josh. But I want to remind you of what the Fed pivot really means. It means he's no longer going to concern himself with inflation, but instead he's going to concern himself with rising unemployment. That's what the true pivot is. And so we got some jobs data today, and that actually came in better than expected as well. And so that's partly why the markets moved the way the markets moved. We had strong economy. We had unemployment that wasn't as high as feared. And tomorrow we're going to get another piece of that puzzle, which is the PCE, which tells us that inflation could be coming down. That would again give more strength to this market that's been slowly moving up. Now, a lot of people have been scared to invest, even though you guys have to admit, every single video I've done, I've reminded you guys that we are in a bull trend. And guess what I'm going to remind you guys today? That's right. We're in a bull trend. Everything that we look at technically is still bullish. And today we're above 570 and we're getting ready to hit an important technical level on the SPY, which I am concerned that we could see rejection at. And I'm going to give you guys that number as well. But the fact is we are melting up. That's when candles basically make a new price high, but the candles are red every day, so it goes up and comes down a little bit, makes you feel like it's a bearish turn, but tomorrow it goes up even higher, comes down a little bit. That's all that's happening. We've been slowly melting up all week. Now, we could really take off and hit an all-time high tomorrow with a soft PCE read. It would just complete the picture that we now have an economy that's not in trouble and a Fed who's providing quantitative easing, monetary easing, which means more money for a strong economy, which actually could and should raise fears regarding the potential of stagflation or deflation down the road. But at the moment, nobody's going to worry about that. They're just going to potentially buy stocks. And what are they buying? Well, they've been buying Tesla. It's another stock, guys, and you have to give me a little props on this Tesla because at 240, told you it was going to 248. 248. I told you when it got up to 250 and we got a little rejection, I said, don't worry, this baby's going to 261. I've been reminding people in the Stocks with Josh Discord in the pre-market overview. I said to them this morning before the market even opened, Nvidia and Tesla are going to be strong. And Tesla hit 261, the exact target that I gave, and it got rejected. Well, of course, the next question is, Josh, are you selling? And I've got to tell you, the answer is no. Why am I not selling? Well, could I have cashed out at a higher profit at 261 today? Yes, but the market is trending higher. And I want to remind you guys about the predictions that I've made and the charting that I've given you on Tesla over the last week. We've come up against a historic line of resistance. We've come up against the potential fulfillment or breakout of a cup and handle pattern. Both of those, if we got above it, would be extremely bullish. Now, we've got some time between now and October 10th when Tesla is going to do the Robotaxi Day. He is calling it, and he's pumping it up on Twitter right now, an event for the history books. Now, we know that this guy is bullish, and we know that he loves to pump his own projects. But between now and then, and as long as we stay above the 5 EMA, this thing has room to move higher, and I'm going to have to let my stop loss kick me again on this one, just like I did with NVIDIA. I want to let it go up as high as it could possibly go, and it could go up, believe it or not, it could go up another $100 from here if Wall Street was impressed with that October 10th event. But I believe that we're going to continue to play with these higher numbers and push up against this 254, and we're going to have to see where we close, but it's getting very close to a place where I could get stopped out. My current stop loss is 248, and I'm okay if I get stopped out there because I'm way up on my entire position and everything I've been adding. And I want to remind you guys that when this thing got off of the last highs, I said that it would come down between 220 and 215, and that would be a beautiful accumulation zone. I accumulated there. Maybe you did as well. If you did, let me know in the comment section if you've already sold, but you had to have made a nice little bag because we've enjoyed a really nice run up here to 261. Another prediction that has come to pass. All right, let me just run you into a few charts and then I'm going to give you the new hot play that I am considering. I did take a small little starter position just to track it, and I'll let you guys give me some feedback if you think I'm nuts to touch this one because at one point, it had been dead to me. But let's go look at a handful of charts. First off, I'll just talk about the fact that today, it was really a mixed day. There's no breakaway winners. We see that the chips, some of the chips obviously did well today with Micron's up move, but largely this was a very mixed day. But Costco falling apart. Like I said, it had a little bit of a spike. It would have to get above 921 to go up to 960. And it has to stay above 884 or we're going to see it go down to 850. Guys, you can just mark that on your chart as a technical likelihood or a Josh prediction. If we open and close a candle beneath 884, we are going to come back to 855. But for the most part, I would largely say that it wouldn't shock me if this just stays largely flat. I don't know that the market wants to dump its Costco position, but it definitely didn't see a reason to pump it either. Okay, I did a little alert on Apple, and the truth is, if we had held those options, I got in. It was a nice 40% win. I alerted right here, got 40% profit on my options, but it quickly collapsed, and it was a fast scalp. But from the moment that it pulled back, it's actually climbed all the way into close. And overall, guys, we're in bull territory right here. This was a beautiful day. This is a little bit of a confirmation and a buy signal day for Apple. And if tomorrow we're above 227, I think we are going to go up to 230. Micron, obviously a big winner. As I said to you, give it a couple days. If you didn't get into this one, we want to see it hold above 108 for a potential move up to 124. And the SPY is looking good. We got the MACD pointing up, very bullish. We got a steady move of rising candles. I think we've got this concern here at 576.30. The only way that we're going higher is if we can open and close a candle above 576.30, but I am expecting this to be an area of potential rejection. We could end up coming back to 570, even to 564. But if we do open and close a candle above this 576.30, then it means that this market wants to go all the way up to 600. And I will tell you that that will be my prediction. I am not predicting 600 right now. I'm predicting that if we get this candle, a candle to open and close above 576, then 600 will become our target. But right now, 576 likely to be an area where we see some struggle and rejection. We have the MACD on the daily time frame. We see that we're seeing some tapering here. If we continue to get that tapering, then we'll get a push up and a downturn, guys. Be aware of that. Okay, the next one I'm going to go over is a stock that's been in decline and absolutely suffering for bad leadership decisions, as well as too much debt is the number one problem that they've got. So they've been losing market share and losing profitability. And you know that Wall Street is not going to reward a stock when they're losing market share, losing revenue, and losing profit. Let's go check out Walgreens. WBA is back on the watch list because it's doing some interesting things technically. And I still have a little bag of this. And so maybe with this upcoming move, if I hadn't been in it, I wouldn't touch it. But since I'm in it, I'm looking at ways that I could increase the profitability of my position, and I'm going to share my idea with you. Let's go check out the Walgreens chart. Okay, first off, we're looking at the weekly chart, and I want to point out to you guys that this thing has obviously been a loser for a long time. Each of these candles represents 1 week, and you can see that it's just been pointing down. This trend is nothing but down. But you can also see that every once in a while, it finds a little bit of a base. And typically this is right before earnings, okay? And we're kind of in that position now. Earnings is ahead of us on October 15th, so we're a couple weeks away. And it's very possible that we could have a little bit of a move and make an effort to backtest and get above the 20 AMA. We've done that a handful of times. Every time we've gotten towards earnings, the shorters want to close their position and be careful going into earnings that there isn't a major announcement, which could cause the stock to go higher. And so to close their positions, they have to buy the stock. And that's typically why this might come up off of its lows and have a turnaround moment. Now, if it does that, right now, it ended the day in the $8 range. But if we do get this momentum turn where people are beginning to close their short positions in preparation of an earnings event, we could see this come back up above the 20, and this would put it around $12 to $13, which is a decent move from $8 to $12. And now the other thing that confirms this bullish idea that I've got is we've got this bullish divergence on the MACD and the RSI. That's when price is coming down, but momentum is not as low as it had been when price was higher. And so this is largely moving up while price is moving down. And then the other one is the stochastic RSI is pointing up and getting ready to cross the 20% line and on the weekly chart. And that could lead to a pretty strong move. This is very classically referred to as a buy signal. So if you're using the stochastic RSI, especially on the weekly time frame, that typically points to a much bigger move, similar to what we got here when it crossed and similar to what we got right here when it crossed. those coincide with those moves I showed you above. So here's the big question that I've got for you guys. Are you not touching this with a 10-foot pole? Or are you in it and looking for a way to turn this trade around and make it profitable? That's what I'm doing. If I wasn't in it and I didn't own any Walgreens, I wouldn't touch it because the trend is going lower. But because I'm in it, I'm going to take a little position or to recover from some losses. That's what I'm doing with Walgreens. Let me know in the comment section if you guys think that makes any sense, or if you're going to do anything with Walgreens, or if you're just trying to get out of it. I'm holding Tesla strong. The markets are melting up. I gave you the line in the sand that I'm expecting them to hit, that 567.30. It may go higher, but we got to watch and see if that daily candle closes back beneath that level, because that's a strong resistance area. However, if we break it, then these markets are going to run all the way to 600. That's my prediction for the market today. Those are my plays that I'm in. I hope you guys found this helpful. If you did, hit the like and subscribe, and don't sleep on the Discord, where you can learn to chart, learn to be a consistent trader, and trade with the Crown Traders and myself. Come check it out. Peace and blessings, guys. Talk to you soon. Take care.